I'm Veena Bharath. For the next 6 weeks, we at Government Information Services Limited will be taking you on a journey of delivery, fulfilling the promise, highlighting the achievements of government in the 2 years of its existence since May 24th, 2010. In tonight's program, we remind you of access roads for farmers, providing critical access to their crops. And as the government continues to deliver on the promise to bring communities together, another state-of-the-art community center is opened. First, a dream come true, the fulfilling of a need in a community. The inauguration of the Bish High School on September 5th, 2011.
It stands towering above the quiet rural community on the outskirts of the large forested area known as Bish. The edifice, a magnificent one at that, has been steeped in controversy since its completion 10 years ago. During its construction, the Bish High School represented the dreams of a community. Apart from the convenience to residents, who, over the years, had to travel long distances to attend schools in other districts, the institution would have been a symbol of lifelong learning and the quest for a better way of life. Today, with talk of oil and gas emissions at the site and complaints about land slippage well in the past, there is relief. The school is finally up and running.
The problems were twofold. One, the issue of the gas, and then there was a wall that had moved. In both cases, what I understand is that the gas probably was there for a little space of time and it has been dissipated. So that's no longer the case. There is this added security of having the gas monitors, and to this date, the monitors have not recorded any significant level, in fact, any abnormal readings beyond the norm. So we are safe in that regard. The second issue was that of the wall moving, and that has been redone and it's paved and it's safe and secure. So those were the two issues, and it's in the past.
The works comprising the refurbishment of the Bish Government Secondary School, as it's now called, include cleaning and sanitizing works, earthworks, concrete works, block work, roofing work, glazing works, joinery, painting, tiling, metal works, plumbing and electrical works. So that on September 5th, 2011, the school witnessed its first intake of students as anxious parents accompanied by their equally excited children ventured up the winding hill to the school. Many are elated as this school represents the filling of a need in the community.
It's a good job. Okay, it has done a lot. I mean, for the Bish community.
When you do check here, they don't really have a school, so people are also go around there and things.
Yeah, the school was long overdue.
Why would you say that?
The last government stopped the school because of oil problems. But we have school in Petrotrin, we have school in Santa Flora, we have oil wells all over. So it was politics. It will help the community a lot because plenty of people will be saving money with selling children quite outside this area. And it will help, and this school will be, what I will say, it will be best for the community because, and then the government will make sure the school will go good.
I think it's a very good thing in the sense that children don't have to travel out of Bish in, late in the evening time, because it's a very bushy area to the Bish forest, going through the Bish forest. And most of the children up here now, they don't have to go through that.
Well, it is good for the children of the community. For me, I find it is good.
Principal Rajesh Ram even acknowledged the government's role in this process.
Oh, it's very important because they set the pace, they set the trend, and they have equipped us with all that we need. We're still receiving items, we still need a couple teachers, but they have definitely given us the support and all that is needed to ensure that the school is up and running. So I commend the government in that regard.
He agrees that this school will be a community landmark that will shape and mold the lives of the people of Bish in the coming years. And the Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Tim Gopi Singh, underscores the pivotal role of the Bish Secondary School in this regard.
It really fills my heart to be here today, to know that in academic year 2011 to 2012, this school will now be occupied with students together with the primary school in Bish. And the spite and the vindictiveness of the past will be no more. For the 10 years that administration kept the school closed, nearly 1,200 students who should have been here at the Beach High School had to travel almost 30 miles per day to and from their residence to seek a secondary education, to go to Manzanilla High School, Sangre Grande, Rio Claro, or Mayaro, in various distant areas from here, when this high school should have been opened.
It's well worth it, you see. The jubilant smiles of the children, the relieved, proud parents, and the excited teachers who are determined to have a role in their future. And it's all possible because this government is committed to fulfilling the promise.
For years, the village of Malabar has been known for a rich showcase of local heritage. It's for this reason the Ministry of Community Development has decided to give the residents an extra hand that would aid in encouraging this culture through the opening of a new community centre. In opening of the centre located at Upper Malabar, Community Development Minister, the Honourable Nizam Bash, noted that it was this community togetherness that fostered this kind of success.
In recognition of the important role which a community centre plays in the life of a community, I've initiated a comprehensive refurbishment and repair program of all community centres which have been constructed before the last decade. This means that every village with a community centre will over time be upgraded with modern facilities similar to those at the new centres. I believe that every village council and every village should be provided with modern facilities and technology to enable them to grow and develop.
Apart from producing some of this country's top cultural performers, several athletes have been birthed in Malabar. Sports Minister and MP for the area, the Honourable Anil Roberts, announced plans for his constituency, telling residents they can expect a new sporting complex in the near future.
There will be a $66 million sporting facility. Tenders go out next 2 weeks and construction will begin by September or October. The ground preparation will be done where you will have a 25-meter swimming pool, a running track, indoor facility for basketball, volleyball, community center, homework center, weight room, gym room, right there on India ground. We also will have a smaller one in Karapo.
The centre is expected to provide the necessary spaces for gatherings that would encourage true community development, something Minister Bash urged residents to take full advantage of.
The community-based groups participated in competitions which included patriotic songs, dramology, and La Reine Rêvée, and they truly gave a good show of our local heritage. I'm well aware that in order for communities to give their best at events like these, they need a central location, and that is a community center, which would allow experienced residents to mentor young ones in the areas of sport and culture and keep them off the streets. A community center can provide a training venue for men and women in Malabar to upgrade their skills. A community center will help the community groups like Youth Alive, the Aaron Birch Foundation, the Malabar Uplifting Community Group, and the Village Council to make a positive impact in Malabar.
Several activities will be generated as a result of the new community centre. Some of them have been outlined as part of initiatives aimed at promoting adult education programs offered under the Community Development Ministry. Persons interested will be provided with opportunities to gain various skills, equipping them for the job market.
Access roads for farmers. It's another step in government's move to improve the country's farming community. Over the years, farmers have consistently complained of neglect from successive governments. Some even use fiscal allocations as the national yardstick to measure government's interest in the vital industry. Under the stewardship of Prime Minister the Honorable Kamla Persad, the Ministry of Food Production, Land and Marine Affairs has been charged to launch a campaign to provide critical access roads in such farming areas. And with Minister Vasant Bharat at the helm of the ministry, more and more farmers are able to reap the benefits of these incentive programs. The minister says he's not fazed by the budget.
We did not get a significant amount of money more than we've done in the past. What we have been able to do is to utilize the funds a lot better in a much more focused way so that we can actually bring the goods and services that's required to the farmers directly to them, so that you will see that they've received far more benefit, although we've more or less spent exactly the same amount of money as the ministry has spent in past years.
Let's now journey to Tabakit, where farmers are enjoying freshly paved roads that provide critical access to their plots. This is Mr. Kelly Badal. He is the Public Relations Officer of the Tabakit Vegetable Farmers Association, but he's also been a farmer for the past 34 years. It's the business that his family thrives on.
Over the 34 years, we had a lot of challenges, like flooding. We had, road condition, all these things, and we stayed in the business because at the end of the day we had to produce food.
To this family, these roads are a critical part of their operations. Before the advent of this paved passageway, the Badals were forced to trudge through meters of mud to get to their crops whenever it rained. For most farmers too, the tropical weather can be a bitter enemy, because while the rain provides necessary water for the crops, excessive rain can cause waterlogging and flooding in some parts. Tabakit farmers are no strangers to flood. They've fallen prey to flooding in the past. In fact, you might recall that shortly after being sworn in, Prime Minister the Honorable Kamla Persad donned boots to visit victims of flood, among them several farmers. Another farmer, Franklin Villafana, explains that under this government, they've accessed their compensation packages in record time.
We received it in a short space of time, maybe I think about a couple of months. It didn't take long, which was I think the fastest we ever received compensation.
Peter Norega is also a farmer in the Tabakit district. He plants sweet peppers, hot peppers, pimento and bodi. For him too, farming is his livelihood. It's something he's been doing for the past 18 years. He couldn't imagine life without agriculture, and he thinks it's the only hope for this country's economy.
We do this as our livelihood, so it's something that we take a passion for and love it. So whatever comes, you have to go with the flow then. Agriculture is the future of Trinidad, and we always say that we don't want to miss out at the day when agriculture will be the main source of income for the country. I don't want no minister or any big shot people, like we say, like the business sector, to come and rob me of my 23 years of experience. That's the main thing.
Councillor for the area Henry Awang also weighed in on the new access roads for the farmers, and he's quite pleased with the work that government has accomplished.
The agriculture access roads in Tabakit and surrounding communities is a challenge as it relates to farmers and farmers accessing their farms and so on, but over the last year or so we were able to get quite a few roads in the area upgraded. So we have some of the farmers are happy. There are quite a few still to be done. That remains one of the challenges in the sense that over the years we have seen a decline in farming in some of the areas like cocoa farming due to the fact that people were unable to access their estates. As you know, we're in an area now where the farmers no longer have donkeys, so they are dependent now on having their vehicle, their 4x4, drive into their estates and so on. So agriculture will remain a very important aspect of the life of farmers in the community. I know last year we were able to get some, as I mentioned before. I'm hoping that this year, in this financial year, we are able to get some more of the road fixed for the farmers to access their estates and farm. But we are happy with last year's work by the Ministry of Agriculture, as it
we were able to get quite a few roads done in the area.
Prime Minister the Honorable Kamla Persad has said that as important as putting a roof over the head of citizens, so is the need for food security. She believes that farmers play a very crucial role in ensuring that as a nation, we are able to feed ourselves. It's with this in mind that the Ministry of Food Production, Land and Marine Affairs is moving to put agriculture on the front burner and fulfill government's promise to farmers.
This is fulfilling the promise, change in action, the initiatives and actions of government in office from one ministry to another. The Serval Life Center, the Laventil Technology Center, MIC Technology, the Workforce Assessment Center and the Training Facility. Achievements of the Ministry of Science, Technology and Tertiary Education. The Housing Development Corporation has guaranteed housing to already 20% of the applicants who applied over 15 years ago in order to clear up the backlog as government continues to deliver on its promise. This is a story of patience and achievement, a commitment by the Ministry of Housing and the Environment. The Vehicle Management Corporation and the National Energy Skills Center launched a trade school and workforce assessment center for automotive maintenance. The center, located at the Vemcot compound at Beetham Gardens, Laventille, will provide the opportunity for the assessment of persons who have skills but are not certified and further train and certify them. Minister Karim notes that within less than a 2-mile radius of the new Trade School and Workforce Assessment Center at Beetham, there are a number of other training institutions.
Starting here at Vemcot in the east, going westwards, we look at the Serval Life Center, which is also funded by the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. To the northwest of Serval on the Eastern Main Road, you have the Laventil Technology Center, which houses the NESC and the MIC. As you go west on Board Street, you have the MIC Technology Center. And as you go southwest of that, UTT's Creative Campus.
Minister Karim is revealing that soon to be launched are the PTSC Vemcot Trade School in Scarborough and the University of Trinidad and Tobago Technical Training Program with Caribbean Airlines Limited at the hangar at the Piaco International Airport. Minister Karim is also announcing plans to establish an automotive technology center in Chaguanas. He says this facility will be made available to the PTSC and Vemcot to assist in repairing vehicles.
With respect to the former Transport and Field Engineering Department at Woodford Lodge Estate in Chaguanas, the National Energy Skills Center, the Metal Industries Company, and the Youth Training Employment Partnership Program, together with the Automobile Association of Trinidad and Tobago, will be launching its first ever fully dedicated Automotive Technology Center. The Woodford Lodge Transport and Field Engineering Department will be available to the PTSC and Vemcot as soon as we open your doors. You are free to utilize that facility for repairs, and you are free to leave your buses overnight for repairs or until such time that they are made roadworthy again.
Transport Minister Devant Maharaj says the Workforce Assessment Center was built on the Vemcot compound for under $200,000. He adds that his ministry would be establishing 7 additional assessment centers. Minister Maharaj notes that there is a growing demand for persons skilled in repairing diesel and gasoline engines. He says his ministry is adopting a new approach where arrangements will be forged in collaboration with other ministries to improve delivery to citizens, and adds the new Workforce Assessment Center and Training Facility is a product of that collaboration.
This initiative came about with a simple discussion over lunch with Minister Karim about how could the Ministry of Transport, via its agencies with its technical capabilities built up over a period of years, could assist with some of the projects that has been conceptualized by Minister Karim. And this Workforce Assessment Center was one of those tangible results of that discussion.
Good things come to those who wait. It's a story of patience and resilience. As 74-year-old Victor Dell and his family received keys to their Exchange Couva property some 45 years after filing an application for a home. Housing and Environment Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal says a lesson or two can be learned from this life story. After applying for a government home over 40 years ago, Victor Dell never expected to receive keys to a new house as a pensioner. Today, Mr. Dell, who is the father of two and a husband, finally received the keys to a Housing Development Corporation HDC home in Couva. On hand for the presentation of keys was Housing Minister Dr. the Honorable Rudal Munilal, who also shared the first meal in the new home. The minister said Mr. Dell's story was one that warmed his heart and represented qualities of a true citizen.
I reflected that Mr. Dell was there waiting quietly, silently, and he was not known to the national community. He never went with a placard anywhere. He never went and abused the HDC staff anywhere. He waited and he waited, and this is an enormous journey signifying, his commitment and tenacity, resilience, and really is an example not only of applicants for government services, but is an example of a really great citizen of Trinidad and Tobago.
Mr. Dell recalled that applying for a home was one of his steps in trying to get ahead in life. He described his house as a dream come true. The 74-year-old said good things come to those who wait.
I feel quite happy. I will trust in the Lord, and I've seen that the Lord always for people who trust in Him.
The minister called on the citizens who have applied for houses to take a page from Mr. Dell's book in learning endurance and patience.
I would like, by extension, to ask every applicant to the HDC, 129,000 people, that if you could just take a leaf from the book of Mr. Dell and demonstrate the patience, demonstrate, that ability to, to show enormous tenacity and courage, notwithstanding things don't work out now, but they will. And this is the hope that the HDC brings to Trinidad and Tobago, and Mr. Dell personifies that hope of the HDC.
The minister noted that the HDC had distributed homes to over 20% of the applicants who had applied more than 15 years ago in its efforts to clear up the backlog of applicants. Prime Minister Kamla Persad is commending the spiritual Baptist community for what she calls their unwavering commitment to their faith. Speaking at the ceremony to officially open the St. Barbara's Spiritual Shelter Baptist Primary School located along the Churchill Roosevelt Highway in Maloney, Prime Minister Kamla Persad says the occasion is indeed one to be very proud of.
Today, records in the history of our nation and our land, another milestone in the journey of the Spiritual Shelter Baptists. The first major milestone would have been when the ordinance was repealed in 1951. And it would have been repealed because of the work of so many who came before us. And to those we pay tribute today, and we give thanks and praise to God that they never gave up, that they continue to work and to struggle. In face of all the discrimination they faced, they never gave up.
The Honorable Prime Minister also emphasized the importance of education while also promising to establish a secondary school as well for the Spiritual Shelter Baptist community.
Education is the passport out of poverty. Education is the key out of poverty. The only wealth that we can give to our children that will inure to their benefit, redound to their benefit, will be a sound education. And so I hear your cry, Archbishop, on that of your community or mine. We will help you to build a secondary school for the spiritual shelter.
Mrs. Persad Bisasa also shared her own personal experience while expressing her views on the value of education.
For myself, I would have been no one, I would have been nothing. I would have been a very poor, lonely person. But I know what has helped me and so many of us sitting here in this audience and elsewhere would be education. So let us work together to keep this school, which looks absolutely beautiful now, to keep it a place of learning in your own faith, in your own traditions. We have 16 boards under the Concordat, boards, religious boards, schools. Today, and as we open the school, hand over the keys, we record 17 religions with schools.
Speaking with reporters at the event was Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and Communications, Dr. Surajratan Ramachan, who called the moment an historic one in Trinidad and Tobago.
The government has a policy on multiculturalism, and therefore we want to live up to that policy of multiculturalism. And so we are here today for more than just a celebration. This is a historic day. For many, many years, the Baptist movement have been promised a school, and it took the People's Partnership Government and the vision of the Prime Minister, Kamla Persad and the excellent work of Minister of Education, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, to ensure that this project was done in less than 6 months. So this is a very happy and historic day for the Baptist community.
That's how we wrap up this edition of Fulfilling the Promise, Change in Action. The achievements and actions of government in office from one ministry to another. I'm Vina Bharath. Thank you for joining us.